Good morning and good evening to the people that are still up here in Canada. Good morning in particular to our friends in South Korea. Thank you so much for the time to present here tonight. My name's Matt Herbert. I am the General Manager for Green Technology Metals, and we are building the preeminent vertically integrated lithium business in Ontario. I thought we'd start with a quick overview map. I am currently in Toronto, a very wet and cold Toronto tonight, but we are based in Thunder Bay. Most of the team is in Thunder Bay. We are an ASX listed company. We've been listed for a year. We picked up some very good assets from another Australian company, and we put together a board and a management team that really represents the who's who of Western Australian lithium mining. So we'll go through that in just a second. We've put this slide up just to show you that, we are a large explorer developer with a market cap around $190 million. We have very good cash on hand, and we are very aggressively exploring our various assets. And we'll touch on the more advanced assets very shortly. Right. Before we get to the assets, one of our most valuable aspects of the company is our board. I'm only going to go through two of these guys. John Young is our non-executive chairman. He is the founder of Pilbara Minerals. Pilbara Minerals is a worldwide household name in lithium. That is now a $15 billion company. We teamed him up with Cam Henry. Cam is currently in Toronto at the moment tonight here as well. He is the founder of Primero Group. Primero is the world's largest lithium process facility builder outside of China. So whether that's concentrators or converters, Primero are everywhere. And then we've got Pat Murphy and Rob Longley as well, who are extraordinary board members. Right, what does the vertically integrated business look like? At the moment, our flagship is Seymour, and we'll get into Seymour in just a moment. Seymour, we currently have 2 drill rigs operating. We put out a mineral resource upgrade, I'd say 3 or 4 months ago now. We doubled that resource within a year, and we have just in the last couple of weeks had a new discovery out there. So we're really excited about what's coming up, and we're really looking forward to some of the assay results coming back. Below that, you can see the pipeline of other development opportunities. Root is really firming up beautifully at the moment. We've got 2 drill rigs in a camp out there as well. That has gone from being something that was a secondary concern to now being a very primary concern. It's looking very good. And then we've got a couple of others that are at the earlier stages of, more green fields in their development. We make no secret of it. We're looking to then convert and have converters at Seymour. We're looking at an east and western hub now based on the Root discovery. Seymour and Root are both on the same railway line. They are on all-weather roads. We have reasonable power access. We've got very good relationships with our First Nation partners, so we're super fortunate. The final part of the puzzle is the hydroxide, what we call a lithium converter. So Primero, which is really our sister company, builds these things, they operate these things, they commission these things. So these are complicated processing facilities. We're really fortunate to have Primero on board. And in fact, I've just gotten back from San Francisco, where we were with Primero and with Lithium Americas Corp presenting to another company around their ambitions for hydroxide. So what are we doing? We are focused well and truly on our Seymour flagship operation. So the key exploration detail there is 10 million to 9.9 million tonnes at 1.04% lithium. Our material is very coarse out there. It's very clean. It processes very well. We're very excited about that. There will be a mineral resource update for Seymour in Q1 next year, so within the next few months, and that will increase materially. In the meantime, we've signed 7 or 8 option agreements with some other companies in Ontario. We are either the largest or the second largest lithium landholder in Ontario. And we've got some lofty exploration targets across our various development programs. Mark gave us a great introduction earlier. We are aggressive in our exploration program. I believe we have the best, most exciting lithium project in the near term in Ontario. And I'll talk a bit more about that in a second. Right, part of what we're doing and one of our strengths is partnering with the world's best. We've set ourselves really aggressive growth aspirations. We're entering into a 5-year funding model with Lakehead University to grow their lithium expertise. We have really good support from White Sand First Nation at Seymour. As we've sort of noted there, 13 out of our 15 current service contracts at Seymour with a White Sand business or White Sand JV business. So where we say that we're going to ensure that the benefits flow to the local communities, we make sure that's exactly what happens. And below that, you can see a list of groups that we currently have relationships with or agreements. Right, we touched on it just a moment ago. We really want to leverage the partnerships. We've got a great board, as we spoke about in Western Australia. They are household names. Primero is a global name in lithium processing. So very highly experienced, industry-driven, an amazing track record with hard rock lithium. And as we touched on before, full asset lifecycle delivery. So a lot of people say they can build a hydroxide facility. These guys have done it. They commission them, they run them, they fix them. And at the bottom, you can see just a few of the projects that Primero has been a really big part of really in the last 12 or 18 months. Right, how do we unlock that value? Look, we believe that we've got to look at the full stream of processing. It plays to our strengths. We've got great projects in very, very good locations, accessible all year round. Seymour, we will be mining there within the next 2 years. In fact, less at the moment. We're looking at about 20 months. So in the near term, we think we're the next producer in Ontario. So really exciting. And I think, the way that we approach things is with a parallel approach to development. So it's not enough for us to be permitting and approving and drilling. We are also looking at engineering. We're deep into our PEA phase on Seymour. And in fact, what we'll show you in the next few slides is we're looking very, very deeply at the hydroxide processing. Right, Seymour is 200 kilometres north of Thunder Bay, as we indicated earlier, all-weather road. We were fortunate in that the people that had this asset before us kicked off the environmental surveys. So they've taken years off of the development of this project. So again, we expect to be mining there in the next 2 years. At the moment, we are deep in the PEA. Having said that, we're really comfortable with the numbers at very long-term spodumene prices, so not spot prices. So we have many studies happening at the moment: water balance, biological studies, aggregate, MET test work with SGS, and pilot plant test work as well. So we are treating Seymour as if it is a given, and it absolutely will be a mine site. We're so confident about Seymour that we have turned our gaze now to hydroxide processing. We have taken a letter of intent or taken an option on a property in Thunder Bay for the next 12 months to do our due diligence. We've enlisted Primero for the feasibility study for the hydroxide facility. Thunder Bay is an absolute hub for processing in North America. It's on the Great Lakes. It's well serviced by rail, road. This particular block satisfies all the requirements in terms of gas, power, water, and it's on Lake Superior as well. So Thunder Bay is an industrial town. This is a brownfields block. We think it can be permitted very quickly. The extraction type that we're looking at is mezzo-outertech because it's far more amenable to being friendly in environment terms. Right. We love Thunder Bay. As we said, we think it's at the crossroads to North America. I think we all know about the LG announcement recently with Stellantis for Windsor. At the moment, we're focused on a 20,000 tonne a year lithium hydroxide facility. We think that between Seymour and Root and a facility in Thunder Bay, again, this is probably the most exciting near-term project in Ontario. Right, just one or two more slides. This is our accelerated development program. The drilling continues all the way through. Baselining and permitting is done by the first half of 2024. The PEA will be done by February next year. We're very confident around the PEA. And then we go into feasibility studies and project construction. And as I've said, at the moment, project construction and pre-stripping is due to start mid-2024. And then we have first spodumene production and first hydroxide production. Right, what is the long-term business vision for us? It's the development of a regional supply chain and nothing less. We have the Eastern Hub mines, which are obviously very well developed. You know, in the last 3 or 4 weeks, our drilling has started at Root. That's looking very, very good. Whether we have a single plant and we rail material to Seymour or whether Root stands on its own, we're very confident of both of those areas. And then, of course, it's into that lithium conversion facility that we spoke about earlier. So provincial and federal benefits, they're clear. You know, more than 500 construction jobs over 5 years, nearly $1 billion in stage capex across the mine and the converter, and the operating profit, the tax, the royalties that go with it. That is it for my presentation, and I appreciate the time that you've all spent to listen to it. Thank you very much.